Hi, it's Alaska Granny. If you're like me, when I first started prepping, I was pretty excited about it, and I would share my ideas, my thoughts, and my preps with people that I knew. That's not necessarily a good idea. While it's nice to be enthusiastic, we need to be careful who we share our plans with. And part of that is deciding who are the people you should not share with, who are the people you should avoid if you want to be successful at being prepared. The first kind of person you want to avoid is the gossip. If someone will talk to you about someone, they will talk about you to everyone else. So anything that you've shared with them as far as what your supplies are, where you've kept your things that you wouldn't necessarily want other people to know about you, you can be pretty sure that they're going to talk about it. And not only is it an annoyance, but it could also be a threat to you. If you have, say, a stash of cash or you have a supply of weapons, do you really want strangers sitting in a restaurant overhearing your friend talk about you and the things that you have? People who you would think would have no connection to you suddenly would have an interest in finding out who you are, and you could become a target. You would never tell people where you kept your most valuable possessions or when you would go on vacation. Why would you want someone to broadcast that information to others and to be overheard by complete strangers? It could put you at risk even if you're not a prepper. You want to make sure that you don't overshare with people who gossip anything about your personal life, your personal possessions, and your comings and goings. You don't want to put yourself at risk for those that you wouldn't even know had any connection to you or your information. You'd never want to feel like you had been set up to be a target by even complete strangers. People who are risk takers and take dangerous chances put your life at risk as well. You don't want to be drawn into a dangerous situation by someone that doesn't care about their own safety, let alone yours. If people don't have enough sense to protect themselves, they certainly couldn't care less what happens to you. Do you know people who are entitled? They deserve things. They've worked harder. They've studied more. They've suffered more. There's always an excuse why they don't provide it for themselves, and they expect others to provide it for them. They have all kinds of excuses. They have drama. There's a reality to them that is different from your reality of what their life might be. Don't get caught up in the needs and excuses of someone who isn't willing to do the work and sacrifice to do what it takes to make their life successful and happy. You don't want to be caught up in that. You know that we are not entitled to things we didn't work and earn. And even if you work, you may not have every break cut to you. That's not a reason to be jealous of others or to be lackadaisical or figure that someone owes you something. Anything that you need, you know you're willing to work for and sacrifice, and everyone else should be too. The things that you've worked hard for, sacrificed, should not be things that you hand out to others. Have you been acquainted with money grabbers? If you have something, they think they should get part of it, that they haven't had the breaks, you have the opportunities. You have too much. You almost owe it to them. They deserve it. They have their hand out. If you didn't have any money, they wouldn't even be around because they'd be grabbing it from somebody else. Entitled people don't add to your life and are not someone that you would ever want to share any of your most important personal or prepping information with. Another group of people to be avoided are addicts, people who have to have their cigarettes. They have to have their alcoholic beverages. It could even be recreational drugs or even coffee, people that just must have their coffee. When people are addicted, they'll go to all kinds of extremes to get the things that they want, and they're not going to put you and your safety or your comfort over their immediate needs to gratify their addiction. So those are not people that you should consider the ones you could trust in an emergency situation, and probably shouldn't be on your list of those that you want to share any of your prepping information with. Don't set yourself up to be a target, a victim, or someone to be taken advantage of. You need to protect yourself. Part of that is staying away from people that could jeopardize your safety. Don't allow people who refuse to be responsible for themselves get into a position when they could affect the outcome of your decisions and your preparations. Choose to live a happy, healthy life. Be quiet, intelligent, and prepared. Know that you are doing the best that you can and that you're going forward with a positive outlook, ready to handle whatever comes your way. Learn more at alaskagranny.com. Please subscribe to the Alaska Granny channel.